Horizon Zero Dawn, a game in which you fight robot, machine, dinosaurs, an idea and a concept that is so cool and is executed so well. As someone with 35 plus hours invested into the game, let's tackle this by starting off with the story, shall we? So let's talk about the story, shall we? The basic premise is that you are Aloy, and you are following your origin story and where you came from. Is the story pretty meaty? Yes. Is it a pretty good story? Yes. Is it fun from the start to the ending? Yeah, it's pretty fun. So it took me about 27 hours to complete. You could probably do it in 25 to 30. Overall, it was a pretty riveting story, and I would definitely play it again on New Game Plus. Let's jump right into the gameplay, shall we? Because even though the story is good, the gameplay must match up. Gameplay. How does the gameplay stack up? Well, it's pretty interesting and unique. I mean, you are fighting giant robot machine dinosaurs, and each enemy feels quite different than the one before it. There are certain enemies such as bandits, which are humanoid in nature, that you can deal with, but those are far and few between. Now, each combat scenario you can do in multiple different ways. There's probably a dozen or 2 dozen different ways to do it. You can go in with the ultra stealth approach, or you can go in with guns blazing. Hell, there was one time towards the end game where I was doing a side quest, and I utilized an AI bandit patrol, like a shadow type of faction. I don't want to give too much away, but I used an AI patrol in my favor to deal with certain enemy types that I would have a challenge dealing with otherwise. Now, there are a lot of different unique aspects to the game as well, such as fast traveling. At first, you use fast travel packs, which you have to use resources to craft to be able to fast travel, so it's not like other games where you could just get unlimited fast travels until you get a golden fast travel pass. So the gameplay is pretty fun, it's pretty solid. It doesn't feel like too repetitive. I mean, after a while you are doing similar things, but you can approach all these different enemies in different ways. There's always a new challenge around the corner. But with all those challenges, let's talk about the glitches, shall we? We are going to segue our way into glitches. So in the gameplay you're watching right now, you will see me being stuck in an area that I'm unable to get out of. So what do? I have to use some creative methods to get out of this glitch. Now I'll let this little bit play out for a minute, and we'll just talk about what you're seeing here. Basically, I rolled into an area that I shouldn't have been in. I don't know why I shouldn't have been in there, but obviously I could not get out. So what I do is I was like, well, let me try to jump my way out of here. Obviously couldn't. And I used a creative way. Let's do the split right now. And you will see that I used my mount to get out of the area, which I mean is a rather annoyance, but it's not like a deal breaker. Now there were a few unrecorded anomalies within the game that happened. Certain enemy types that were destroyed were floating, and I've seen that on other people's videos too. I didn't get the ragdolling of enemies happening to me, but I did, however, get a bunch of floating anomalies, but it wasn't enough to break immersion. But yeah, so I mean, on the glitch front, it was pretty solid. It was pretty okay. So let's segue into the end game. So let's talk about the end game, shall we? If you're like me, hell, you've done the main quest line, you fought the final battle, and you're ready to do the end game content. What is there for me to experience in the end game content? Well, without spoiling too much, there are things equivalent to dungeons, there are the hunting grounds, and there are a plethora of endgame side quests for you to do. And a lot more exploring, a lot more abilities to unlock, and a lot more things to see, experience. Not to mention the DLC, which I have not yet got into, because I'm leaving things for me to experience later on, so I don't burn myself out on it. Overall, it is a really good end game. There's a lot of unique, varying stuff to do. And overall, I would think that it's a great experience for anyone. So let's go ahead and jump into the graphics, shall we? So graphically speaking, you're obviously seeing the game looks amazing. There are certain areas in dark light that looks amazing, and there are certain areas, certain times in the game where you're hunting and you're killing machines The light just hits everything in the right way, and you just stop and you're like, wow, this game looks phenomenal. I'm going to throw up a few shots while we talk about it a little bit. I'm running on the PS4 Slim, and you're going to see certain elements to the graphics that just look amazing. There's all these different scenarios where the game just comes to light. It's vibrant, it's colorful. Even in the rainfall, it looks beautiful. At night, it looks beautiful. The light bouncing off certain trees, certain grass parts, and just everything. It just looks phenomenal. And overall, I think the game is phenomenal, but the graphics itself is just amazing. I compare it to like The Witcher 3 in graphics, and it just overall looks great. Now, you've probably seen the thumbnail for the video, and that's why you clicked on it along with the title. Now, you probably thought that was some CGI. I took it off of Google and you know, put it in my thumbnail, right? No, you are witnessing me constructing the thumbnail with the in-game photo editor, photo mode in the game. So the photo mode itself is amazing. It has a lot of in-game tools. You could set the time of day, you could do a depth of field, you can remove the player if you wanted to for like a screenshot for your like background on your computer or your PS4 or something of that nature. It is overall a robust photo mode that is even better than that of like Ghost Recon Wildlands, which has some sort of photo mode, but you can't hide the player. This photo mode is beautiful. It offers filters, it offers depth of field, the vignette, it offers everything. Field of view, everything. This game is phenomenal. This photo mode is phenomenal. The graphics just blow a lot of stuff out of the water. So let's go ahead and make some comparisons to other games and see if you guys might want to buy it. So if I could compare this to any game, I would consider it kind of a Far Cry meets Warframe meets The Witcher 3 and a little bit of Tomb Raider on the side. Now, the game itself is a unique experience. It is a unique experience through and through, both visually, artistically, and gameplay wise. Now, the artificial game lengtheners that it has are non-existent. It is not like Warframe, it is not like Ghost Recon Wildlands or Far Cry in which they use artificial game lengtheners. There are certain things that you could consider artificial game lengtheners, but they don't really, they don't appear as that, right? They're not actually artificial game lengtheners because it has a big, vast story. Overall, I think the game is just amazing in a lot of ways, and again, it's similar more or less to The Witcher 3 in regards to like its focus mode. It's almost like The Witcher senses and whatnot, right? So overall, I think that is really amazing. So let's talk about the conclusion of this. Should you buy it? Should you not? So in conclusion, should you buy this game? Well, if you have a PS4, it's a must-have. It is a flagship for Sony and its exclusives. Its single-player beauty of gaming. I would definitely advise you buy this. If you don't have a PS4, well, what are you waiting for? Buy a PS4 and then buy this game. So, yeah, I think it's a really good game. It's a really fun game. You get a long life out of it. I just wish they would have a couple more weapons here and there. And, you know, the voice actress Ashley Birch of Aloy is really awesome. Did an amazing job on it. So, at the end of the day, I would rate this game on a numeric scale. I would say a solid 10 out of 10. Just because it's rare that a game comes along that's so pro-consumer and gives you so much for your initial purchase in a world of loot boxes and just BS microtransactions. This game is a light in darkness. It really is a beacon and a hope of gaming. I really love the fact that this game is just so unique, so different in so many different ways. And yeah, if you don't have a PS4, definitely, you know, pick one up, if not for just this game. There's a lot of other exclusives that PS4 has, and overall I've been having a lot of fun on this game. And yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this review. Hopefully I don't sound too dick rider-ish, so to speak, because the game is good. I've invested well over 35 hours into it. I intend on going back in, as of recording this video, to actually go back and record the thumbnail section of this video, which will probably lead me to doing other stuff. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video and this review. Yeah, it's just been a fun process. And this is kind of obviously on my outro, so I don't really got to worry about the takes, worry about anything. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Yeah, it's been Fluidity. Hopefully you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out, boy. XD. Roar. Comedy. I don't know if I'm gonna cut this part, but if I don't, enjoy. And that's a wrap.